Carlsbad Jet Center, located in Carlsbad, California. In their second day visiting Southern California, the pilot traders are ready to meet another important person to the Jefe, a sergeant directly in charge of Corporal Story, who has influenced the life of the Jefe as they serve together in 1st Battalion 9th Marines, The Walking Dead. Sgt Maj Coleman, now retired, and the Jefe served together in the Marine Corp. Sgt Maj Coleman, a sergeant at the time, served as a section leader in 1st Battalion 9th Marines, 2nd Countermech in charge of Corporal Story. 50 caliber machine gun gunner in 1992. In 1993-94, as 1st Battalion 9th Marines deployed to the Pacific, the Marine Ready Force was called to Operation Restore Hope in Somalia. After a successful tour of duty in Somalia, Sgt Maj Coleman went to his next duty station, and Corporal Story joined the ranks in the civilian world. 26 years later, Corporal Story and Sgt Maj Coleman connected as civilians, and the Jefe has invited Sgt Maj Coleman to fly around the San Diego area in the Caribbean Spice.
Hi everyone, so we're here at Carlsbad Airport, and like I told you when I was in Camp Pendleton, here is Sgt Maj Calvin Coleman. He used to be, a sergeant, right, 85. That's correct. When he was in charge of me. So, and of course he knows, I was kind of the best Marine in your section, I know that. Isn't that right?
If you say so.
Yeah. And so we both, just like with Sam, Sergeant Major here, we were all deployed to Somalia. We went to Somalia together. And as you saw a little bit of the history where we were in the barracks and a little bit of Camp Horno. So we all kind of united, and like I've talked before, once a Marine, always a Marine, and it's just a brotherhood where, we do anything for each other. So no matter if it's, civilian life or in combat, we have each other's backs no matter what. If you want to say anything or a little story or something before we go fly, because we're going to go fly.
First and foremost, Sergeant Major retired, no longer active duty, so for the Marines looking, retired, just get be straight on that. And I can say this, the thousands of Marines I've met throughout my career, so many say what they're going to do, and I say very few actually execute. So to go up here today is like, you told me this back in the 90s, somewhere around that time frame, I'm going to be a pilot, when you were a young Lance Corporal, ball of fire, and here we are today, 30 plus years later, so thank you. Thank you.
So we're excited, and it's like he said last night. He said, you're going to take me up flying when I send you to Humvee school, right?
Yeah.
I failed it. So I couldn't even drive a Humvee. So I know he's excited to come on board with me right today. So it's going to be a lot of fun. In my flight bag, use that cable and plug it into the USB in where you're at.
Got to be living the dream.
This is awesome, man.
I'm telling you, man.
See, there's that dip. See it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to hold the brakes a little bit. We're going to go to about 42 inches of manifold pressure. Here we go.
Palomar Tower, Cessna 172 Lima Kilo at runway 24, November 1 in sequence.
Cessna 2 Lima Kilo, runway 24, clear for takeoff, make right traffic.
Okay, what are your thoughts so far? Liking it?
Oh yeah. Thought it was good, but on the motorcycle, a little bit better from up here. Wow.
Okay.
Airport from the south center line.
You want to fly a little bit?
Line clear to land, winds 250.
Grab the yoke. I'll be with you. Grab the yoke. And watch this. That's going to be your turn coordinator. Okay, and watch this. If it's in the blue, you're climbing. If it's in the brown, you're descending.
You got me looking at a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. All right, yours. Your plane. So very slow. Now, just make sure this doesn't get in the brown. Go ahead. I'll be with you. Go ahead, fly in it. Just keep it straight.
Got to go opposite, huh?
Yeah, so if you turn this way, it's going to go this way. If you can turn that way, it's going to go that way.
That'd have been nice to know beforehand.
Yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
Cessna 29 Delta, frequency change approved.
Does it have a natural direction it wants to pull because of the wind?
Right now it's because of the wind, and we're so close to the land. So that's why. If it were higher, it'd be smooth. But right now, because we're so close to the ground, yeah, we're good. We're good because I'm watching the airspace, and we're 100% good. We'll just turn around in non-airspace area. So let's just start talking a little bit. Yeah, if you wanted to say, from the first time that we've met and to now, any thoughts, anything you want to say that's in your heart?
19.
19.
Yep, you show up along with a few other fellows, if I remember correctly. Security forces, we were like, okay, who are these guys? You remember the mindset that we had about people coming from security forces to the infantry.
Yeah, I remember.
And then the infantry being very macho type A type, and then you show up with an attitude. I just loved it, man. Just loved it to see all that energy, I guess, come to this. So it's kind of cool. But in those days, I was probably offended by you more than anything else, to be honest. It was like it's all about control. And I couldn't control you, because you had your own visions. Now that I see. Back then, I just thought it was just, who's this kid think he is?
And it's not, and to me, you're one of the persons that really, and like I always said, since we connected again, I always talk about the same things because you really, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, you really influenced me in my life into understanding what a team player has to be. As a matter of fact, in my family, my kids, I talk about team all the time. And you have a lot to do with that. A lot of, seriously.
I appreciate
that. Yeah, seriously. And so that's why I've always tried to, once I found you, I've always tried to get back in contact with you because I was able to appreciate everything, right? So thank you for that, for sure. And for me as a person, I've grown into understanding what needs to, what I need to do to get my objectives, right? Yeah. And complete the mission that I set myself to complete. And, life's not easy, as you know.
True.
So depending on what path in life you want to take is always going to depend on where you're going to end up.
Yep.
So, and I've said this before, and I think we can apply this to the Marine Corps, if you agree.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't matter how many times you fail. Failing is just a part of success. Do you agree?
I agree, 100%.
So
runway 24.
So let me fail as many times as I can, right? Because
lessons learned are the most valuable.
That's correct. That's the most valuable lessons that I can have. So, anyways, I'm excited to have you on board. It's going to be a fun flight today. Let's go a little higher. What we're going to do is we're going to go higher. See if we can go over these clouds over here.
Yeah.
And let me put a little more power now. So I'm power management right now. Fuel management. These are 26 gallons on that engine, 25 gallons on that engine that we're burning. This is how much fuel I got. We got plenty. Fuel pressure's good. Oil pressure's good. We are doing pretty good.
That's a constant check as you're flying along.
I'm talking to you, and I'm checking, and I'm flying, and I'm looking at airspace. It's insane.
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you guys beep that one.
Says the guy who couldn't drive a Humvee.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And I'm going to keep the cowl flips open because that's how you close those things. Remember those things I showed you?
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that open because I want to keep the engines cool. And since we're not doing a cross-country trip, we're just going to go over these clouds and maybe come back.
That could get a little exhausting going long distance, huh?
Well, once you set the airplane up and once you have altitude, autopilot
kind of goes.
It goes. So it's the initial phase and the ending phase.
Yeah.
That's the hardest. So, whoa.
Dude over here?
Let's approach.
There's a dude over there, huh?
Nothing over there.
Yeah, I see him.
Contact SoCal 90.
He's right over there.
Yeah.
So now we're climbing. We're over the clouds. You see that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So we'll go over to the ocean. We'll head back and then we'll land. Because if we keep going this way, I'm just going to see clouds.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
That's all there's there.
Right traffic, runway 24 clear for takeoff, 2 Lima Kilo.
All pilots have that same talk, that same pitch.
Yeah, right?
I don't care if they're Navy, civilian, whatever. They all have that same fast talk, get it out to the point.
Now watch this. Now we're on autopilot. So I set the airplane at 2,500 feet. We're flying. Airspeed's going to increase because we just leveled off. That's the airspeed that's going over the wings that I talked to you about. That's important. There we go. See, and this is what we do. So now we're just sitting here. And when we go home, we go places. Now I can talk, drink coffee, whatever, and the airplane just flies. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
63 Sir Papa Palomar Tower, right now, departure food runway 24, clear for takeoff.
And this is the dream. This is the dream.
I can imagine, man.
30 years later.
I never could imagine, to be honest. That's what's getting me.
30 years later, can you believe it?
This is about how you look at your goals.
Yeah.
Some people just say, I want to get to the airport. No, I want a plane at it.
But you know, here's what I've learned. People's like, well, I want this, I want that, I want that. And it's not about what you want. It's about what am I grateful for, what do I have now, and how can I humble myself and work hard to achieve what I want.
Yeah.
And so you got to change that mindset. So, but 30 years later, I mean, I would have never thought that me and you would be sitting in a cockpit.
Tell you what, when I saw you, I didn't think I'd ever want to see you again. But you know what? Changed my perspective on a lot of things about that, how you meet people, see them, and have these perceptions about who you think they are. And I came at you because I thought I saw some things that you needed.
Yeah.
And I realized you had it already.
Yeah.
You know, you probably just had to play the game because that's what life's about sometimes, just playing it.
But you know, I needed it. I was a young kid when you met me. You know, I was, what, 19 years old. So everybody has the core to do whatever they want, but you need somebody to mold that. And you had a lot to do with my molding. So,
well, believe me,
for sure.
I tested the waters with you.
You did. You did. So,
yeah.
So what I want to do is one of these days we'll come down and we'll pick you up and fly you and Tina over to the house, man.
We love that.
Yeah. We go skiing, we go camping. Tons to do in Utah. Tons to do in Utah. So
there's some water. I only got a little visual on some water.
Yeah. But that's the problem I was talking about, right? It's just you can't see anything. So we're gonna turn around.
Thanks for that. Clear to land 242.
There's Catalina still far away, but we're gonna turn around. And then we'll just land her up. See, now watch. Now I can either change the nav and put it on nav and it'll find it, or that's my heading indicator, my heading bug, which is that little blue thing right there, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to turn, and the airplane will turn.
On its own.
On its own, look at that.
My goodness.
Yep. That's it. Okay, just keep turning.
That's crazy. So none of this.
Yeah. And see how it's nice and smooth up here?
Yeah.
Versus we have the hills and the wind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the most, I guess, makes sense now.
And see, now you're like, where the freaking hell is the airport, right? So now we're going to use the nav. So this is my Oceanside VOR. So we're going to head over to Oceanside VOR.
173 Charlie Delta Palomar Tower, traffic 12, moving.
I'm going to point the airplane towards there first.
Southbound 3000, type and then. Looking for that.
Because I already read the airspace. So I'm going to go towards the VOR, and then I'm going to head over to the airport. Once I hit Oceanside, I'm going to call the airport, let them know where I'm at, what altitude, and what is it that I want to do.
So 2. ILS runway 24 approach in use. Advise on initial contact. You have Oscar.
You have Oscar.
Temperature 22, dew point 15, altimeter 9er. 2. ILS runway 24.
Okay, so I have to tell the tower that I have the weather. Oceanside direct. So now my nav is going to take me to Oceanside. And that's over here. So we're going to.
Where are you going?
Oceanside.
So that VOR, if you notice, is right next to the border of the restricted airspace.
Yep, thanks for that. Thanks for letting me know. You are right.
So you got to be careful there.
So let me just head over this way, and we'll head straight to then the airport. Yeah. Good catch on that, Francisco. That's why I need him, see?
Lots of rules out here, huh?
Oh, tons. You got to make sure you're good at it, so.
You weren't too good at rules in your young days.
No.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're 3 minutes to destination. Cross that tower, Navajo 31, Charlie Romeo. We're 7 nautical miles to the west, 2,500. We're inbound with Oscar.
You mean north?
Navajo 31, Charlie Romeo, Palomar Tower, make right traffic, runway 24.
Right traffic 24, 31 to Army. No, we're west. Where are we at? We're over the ocean of the coast of California, buddy. We're actually, we're north.
We're off the coast, and now we're north of Palomar.
We're northwest of Palomar. Yes. See, now he's trying to correct me. Right?
Well,
good job.
We're slightly west, but we're more north. That's what I was trying to get at.
So now I'm going to take it off autopilot.
Fruit don't fall far from the tree.
No, they don't. All right, so I'm going to, okay, slowing down. This is what we're going to do. Power comes down. Airspeed, I need to have at about 160.
Okay.
So watch, if I want slower, I just pull up. Watch what happens to the airspeed. See that?
More drag, yeah.
Yeah, and then we're going to do 1 notch of flaps. Now feel it?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to just trim it and slow it down even more.
That's it, huh?
That's it. You see my airspeed, how it's slowing down?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then we do this. That's all you got to do. So I'm controlling pitch, power, and I'm descending at the same time. And Palomar, or Carlsbad Tower, Navajo 31 Romeo. We're downwind runway 24.
1 Charlie Romeo, extend down, I'll call the base.
Okay, we'll extend it downwind 31 Romeo. So you got to listen to, and this is another thing about pilots, right? One thing that I was probably not very good at, remember, is listening to instructions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing how that comes back and you
on right base at 1,500, 2 o'clock and 2 miles.
All right, so now we're going to put the gear down. Turn the green. That's mains, nose. 1. Pops. There we go.
2-3 Charlie Delta, turn left, taxi +1, the Alpha, stay with me. +1, I'll stay with you.
See those lights? 2 white,
Yeah.
2 red. That means I'm on a 3-degree angle, perfect angle for landing. So if I was 3 red,
Leading edge, away.
I'd be 2 low.
Palomar ground, 2469, waiting high bar.
And 3 white, I would be 2 high. Make sense?
Yep. Do the same thing on a carrier, I think.
4751.
What's that?
Do the same thing on a carrier.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So it's a 219 turn base.
See, now I'm a little high, but that's okay. And I'm just going to correct it. But as you get closer, that gets...
Runway 24, clear to land number 2.
I've watched these guys coming in, seen them adjusting
number 3
driving here.
on the mile and a half base at 1,900, report them in sight.
Yeah, once you're next to the airport, they don't count anymore. Because the angle changes.
Just one thing off after you change for good day. Palomar Tower, Cherokee 52 Lima, air traffic inside. Cherokee 52 Lima, runway 24, clear to land.
Pretty good.
That wasn't my best, but I'll take it.
November
Good.
619,
I've watched some Navy pilots come in here. I've flown with them and I'm like, dude, I know we can do better than that.
We're going to Jet Center, 31 Romeo.
1 Charlie Romeo, stay with me, taxi the Alpha.
The Alpha, 31 Romeo. Sorry, go ahead.
How hard is it to navigate out here on the runway, man?
That's why you got ground control. And they navigate for you.
02 flight switch,
Afghanistan, they tried to take my license. I'm driving all the places I ain't supposed to be.
All right, so now we're done. Now we go through a checklist to shut down. So the first thing I'm going to check is my hydraulics.
November 619, contact.
This pops up, which it should.
2.2.
So we just got back from the flight, and it was exciting to have my back then sergeant, now Sergeant Major Coleman, up there with me, and we gotta just change it roles. All of a sudden, I got in charge, didn't I?
Oh yeah,
That was me.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, okay. So
you're much better at that than I, so you can do that.
So what'd you think?
I'm still blown away on how you can look at so many different things and still have a conversation. And fly the plane and have all this going on around you and still be controlled. And as I remember Corporal's story, sometimes 1 or 2 things is a bit too much.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, dude, you got like 12 things going on and you're having a conversation, then I hold the wheel, I'm like, stand off.
Yeah.
I'm focusing right now. So
I gotta leave it alone,
I guess your degree of focus has improved over the years as well.
A little bit, yeah. So, well, I'm glad,
awesome, man. Awesome.
And it was just awesome to reconnect with the Sergeant Major here. Like I said, he was definitely somebody who influenced in my life, actually turning and thinking to do the things the right way. So mindset, it's all about mindset. Exactly what I'm trying to instill here in Francisco. So we'll see you probably downtown San Diego.
Such great memories they have as Marines, as they spend time together remembering their days as they served in the Marine Corps. Good times, great conversation, some sushi, and great company. A special day for Corporal Story and Sergeant Major Coleman that will remain with them for the rest of their lives. Point Loma is a neighborhood in San Diego. Located in the Point Loma Peninsula on the Pacific Ocean, the area is home of the Point Loma Naval Base, Cabrillo National Monument, and the Point Loma Lighthouse, which was closed at the time due to the COVID pandemic. The pilot traders go to Shelter Island in the same area to soak up some beautiful views of the downtown San Diego skyline. The 8th largest city in the United States, San Diego is a town with a strong military history and influence. Downtown San Diego, the center of the city, is a place that embraces different cultures. San Diego is 15 miles from the Mexico border, and Mexican influence can be perceived in many ways in the city, but other cultures are present as well. Like this Italian festival in Little Italy, right in the heart of downtown. Music, delicious food, art, and fun, Italian style, without leaving the city. It's time for the pilot traders to go back home to Ogden, Utah, a distance of 786 miles that November 3-1 Charlie Romeo the Caribbean Spice can do without stopping in about 3 hours. As we fly through the clouds, the views are impressive. A cloudy day can bring a lot of turbulence, but it can also offer amazing views of the city and the Pacific Ocean. Another flight and adventure completed for the pilot traders. And as they go on their journey, November 3-1 Charlie Romeo the Caribbean Spice will begin its annual inspection while at the home airport of Ogden, Utah, where Ross the Boogeyman, Mike the Shop Guru, and Francisco the Apprentice will disassemble the aircraft and perform inspections as directed by the FAA to make sure every single component on the aircraft is working as expected.